The Good Garbage podcast has been brought to you by Paka. Paka has been creating solutions in the food packaging, carry, and service space. Paka utilizes sugarcane residue and upcycles it into amazing products. Their latest offering is a compostable, flexible packaging solution for the chocolate and confectionery industry. The products are available in the Indian subcontinent and in North America now. Paka is also building an end-to-end solutions for customers in the food service and delivery space. For any query, do email at connect@paka.com, and Paka is Pakka.
Welcome in. It's another edition of Good Garbage News. It's 2025, and we're so excited to be doing these updates in the new year. Today, we'll get started with kind of an end of the year recap, end of 2024 Good Garbage News update. I am the host of Good Garbage News, Alex Moore, also the producer of the Good Garbage podcast. And alongside me, joining me again, is Nupoor, who has been taking over some producer duties as well for Good Garbage. So, Nupoor, welcome to 2025. I'm so excited to be doing this with you again.
Yes, Happy New Year to you and all of our listeners. So excited to be doing this in the new year. We have some updates just to round up the last year from India as well.
Perfect. Yeah. And I think, we'll continue what we're doing in the new year like we did last time. We'll touch on India. We'll touch on the United States. We'll touch on global policy updates. I know there's going to be a lot of exciting news, hopefully, in 2025. So we'll continue to do that. And then, of course, we'll also touch on those industry updates. So like we talked about last time, if you're listening to this for the first time, this is Good Garbage News, where we will kind of give you a roundup of all the news over the last month. So we joked about this last time. We're not breaking news, but we are kind of a place where you can catch up if you're in this industry and just want to see what's been happening over the last month, any big headlines or any big news, and sometimes the last 5 weeks even, just to get you a roundup of all those big headlines. So okay, with that said, I think I will hand it off to you, Nupoor. I know you have a little India update for us.
Yes, I do. Thank you, Alex. So the first thing I want to talk about are the new EPR rules that are being introduced by the Indian government. These are the extended producer responsibility rules that are specifically focusing on packaging materials made from paper, glass, metal, and sanitary products. So these, in fact, were notified on the 6th of December 2024, and they are scheduled to take effect on the 1st of April 2026. So there is still some time to go right now, and that's why there's starting to work on the draft and are in fact inviting feedback and suggestions for this particular draft. These rules essentially align with the plastic waste management rules of 2016 that are already in place and are supporting the whole Swachh Bharat mission that we have going on over here in India. They essentially are setting strict targets for waste collection and recycling that encourage accountability among all the stakeholders that are, the PBOs, essentially producers, importers, and brand owners. And with these rules, what we can expect is that looking at the current draft, especially that they are trying to encourage PBO to use recycled materials and sustainable packaging design to reduce the environmental impact, and then obviously, kind of trying to incentivize using sustainable packaging for PBO so that they have less waste, let's say, to kind of process. So that's on EPR. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on how this develops. The other big update I wanted to talk about is something that I didn't get to talk about in my last update from India, is the Uttar Pradesh bioplastic policy. This is the first bioplastic policy introduced in India by the state of Uttar Pradesh. Experts are saying that this could be potentially a game changer in the fight against plastic pollution. What it's essentially doing is that through this policy, the government is offering attractive subsidies to companies that invest in the manufacturing of biodegradable and compostable plastic. If companies invest 1,000 crores or more, they will get a 50% subsidy for 7 years. and 100% reimbursement on the state GST for 10 years. The caveat in this entirety of benefits is that the benefits given will not exceed 2% of the investment made over 10 years. And what we can expect to see is that with this kind of investment, they're looking at, of course, also providing jobs that can be upward of 2,000 at least to start with. This is basically already starting to attract a lot of investment in the bioplastics sector, with the BCML already kind of announcing. BCML is Balrampur Chini Mills Limited. They have announced in December 2024 that they are finalizing a 2,000 crore investment in India's first polylactic acid bioplastic manufacturing plant. So all they're waiting for is the policy fine print to be released, and then India will have its first PLA plant in the state of UP thanks to this particular policy that's been introduced. So that's all in terms of the policy updates that we have from India. I'll hand it off to Alex to talk about INC5 and a lot more that's happening in the US.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nupoor. Yeah, I wanted to give an update on the Global Plastics Treaty, which I know we talked about last time, and we kind of have a bigger update now, it was supposed to conclude earlier this month, but alas, we still do not have a treaty. They failed to meet their deadline as the majority of nations, over 100 in total, were blocked by the petrostates and big plastic producing nations. The majority is holding out for a binding treaty mandating reductions in plastic production and restricting use of toxic chemicals. Of course, the U.S., which is where I am, had said previously they support the need to deal with plastic through its entire life cycle, but did not sign on to any measure to control production. Now the question becomes, how will the next presidential administration support or not support this treaty? As far as that treaty goes, kind of looking on the positive, the petrochemical industry sent 220 lobbyists to Busan to try to convince everybody to accept a treaty that would only focus on waste management, and they failed to do that. So that didn't happen. So that is the kind of the positive spin of looking forward. So the plan right now is for a 5.2 meeting, INC 5.2, which will take place in the first half of 2025. And ultimately, it seems like even 5.2 probably won't be the last meeting. And we're looking at more meetings beyond that one in 2025. But we will, of course, keep you updated with all news INC 5 Global Plastics Treaty in 2025. So Good Garbage News will be a place to come and listen to updates on this treaty as we look forward to a completed treaty and seeing kind of what that will include. Okay, moving forward, I'm going to get into some industry updates here, and we'll start with Coca-Cola. The company announced the evolution of its voluntary environmental goals on Monday during the INC 5, while it concluded in Busan. Missing from Coca-Cola's list of commitments was a mention of its pledge to have 25% of its drinks sold in refillable or returnable packaging, which was announced with much fanfare in 2022, and which the company called industry leading. So Coca-Cola is kind of disappearing here from their sustainability goals, or at least quietly avoiding those. Onto Sway and Umaro, both are Bay Area-based seaweed innovation startups. They've been awarded a Department of Energy macro grant, the Mixed Algae Conversion Research Opportunity, $1.5 million to innovate new processing techniques that upcycle alginate side streams from Umaro's seaweed protein production into Sway's seaweed-based bioplastics. Okay, to UPM and Eastman. Eastman Solus Additives have co-created a flexible, food-safe packaging solution with UPM specialty papers. This unique approach combines the compostable and bio-based Solus portfolio with bio-PBS, which can be extrusion-coated onto UPM's barrier-based papers. To Lactips, a developer of a natural plastic alternative innovative material for water-soluble packaging, durable packaging, and single-use plastic applications, they've announced a €16 million fundraising round. This funding round gives Lactips the resources needed to realize its ambitions and establish itself as a global player. It will allow the company to accelerate its growth in Europe and further expand into the Americas and Japanese markets. Indorama Ventures will launch the world's first bio-PET bottle for commercial scale, made from ISCC certified bioparaxylene. The Suntory Group will successfully introduce these bio-PET bottles for selected products in Japan. Earthodic has landed $4 million to expand their water-resistant innovation. The startup claims products using their biobark coatings are much easier to recycle without losing their water-resistant performance. This investment was led by FTW Ventures with first-time contributions from Circulate Capital and more. Southwest Airlines has replaced the plastic cups it used to serve cold beverages during flights with new cups made with a pulp blend of 75% bamboo and 25% paper. Simultaneously, the airline launched a plastic-free drink stir stick that is made from 100% certified birchwood. The cups are still in the process of getting certified. Southwest expects these changes to reduce its in-flight single-use plastics by more than 1.5 million pounds annually, helping it exceed its 2025 goal to reduce single-use plastics 50% by weight from a 2022 baseline. Southwest also aims to eliminate single-use plastics from in-flight service by 2030. And the molded fiber pulp packaging market is expected to be valued at $9 billion in 2024. The market size was $8.6 billion in 2023, and it is anticipated to reach $15.1 billion by 2034. Industries such as food and beverage, electronics, and healthcare are driving the demand for molded fiber pulp packaging solutions. Manufacturers and customers are increasingly focused on sustainable practices, driving the growth of the market. Key players are concerned about regulations imposed on plastic packaging and thus are inclined toward green solutions.
Thank you, Alex, for those updates. Coming to some industry updates from India, Zomato announced the launch of its Plastic Free Future campaign in December, encouraging customers to place their orders from restaurants that are taking an initiative to reduce plastic usage. Zomato, which is one of the biggest delivery apps in India, what they're essentially doing is that they're placing a banner on their menu page, which makes it easier for the customers to identify the restaurants that are going plastic free. They have more than 200 restaurants that had joined the program. They're doing their due diligence by getting these restaurants to submit evidence of their packaging, including photos and certificates, to confirm that the dishes are being packed in sustainable alternatives. And this initiative can drive the demand for sustainable packaging solutions and incentivize more businesses to adopt eco-friendly practices. So I hope that more such initiatives do take place, because this is pretty interesting to kind of see in India. Next up, we have the Mahakumbh, which is happening this month in Prayagraj. This is one of the biggest religious pilgrimage festivals in the world. And over here, they have decided to go completely plastic free this year, which is again a very, very big deal. And they are, as we speak, training volunteers that are called Ganga Sevaks to undergo training and ensure that all the vendors are serving everything in plastic free containers, including straws, carry bags, takeaway plates, forks. So yeah, and they're using eco-friendly alternatives like banana leaves, jute, etc. So yeah, that's all in terms of the industry updates. Listen into our latest episode with Susan Thorman. She works with the CMA and she talks about the certification process and her, journey in terms of working with Siddhar Group for like over 12 years and now heading CMA. It's a pretty interesting episode, especially if you're looking into getting your products certified. So yeah, tune in.
Yeah, I know I've been trying to get Susan on the show for a little bit. And so I was very, very happy to have her on the show and very excited that we were able to record with her. And CMA does fantastic work. So super excited. Check out that episode. And as 2025 goes on, please, if you're listening to this and you have some feedback, some ideas, some questions for us, please feel free to reach out. I know you can comment if you're listening on Spotify, or you can shoot me an email at alex.moore@paca.com. If you have any questions or any feedback or anything like that, we're happy to answer them. So please subscribe if you're listening. Give us a review. We love to hear all the feedback and are just hoping that this year we can really improve this and continue to get better month after month. So, good garbage news. out every month in 2025. It'll be out on a Thursday where we're not releasing a main episode with a interview from Vade. So look for it there. And yeah, we're looking forward to an exciting year. So thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you next month.
Thank you for listening to the Good Garbage Podcast. Follow us on social media to never miss an episode. Links are in the description below. See you next time.